Today, in my grubby pair of hands, I've got one of these. This is an e-bike battery. It's been dropped off by a customer. The usual complaint that it doesn't charge. Okay, we'll have a look at that. I've already been inside, as you can see. No make on this. Nothing. So, I don't know. It's got a number on the bottom there. 16 on there. Anyway, it's supposed to be 24 volts. It's nowhere near that on any of the slots. Let's have a look inside. Looks like it's leaking something. Oh dear. Oh dear. First things first. Leaking, rotting cells. And a quick look later at the configuration of this. It seems to have 6 sections, and 6 cells in parallel in each. Now, does that configuration make any sense whatsoever? And after a fair bit of head scratching, I think I've got it now. See, the mind plays tricks on you. You have 6 of these in a pack, and they expect 6 in parallel, but that's not the case. I was wondering why one of these cells, I think it's that one, is reversed to the others. It's because these are 5 in parallel. And that's why starting off with a dummy cell on there. See that pack on my left hand? There's only 5 there. And following on, there'll be 5 on here. Then there's another one with reverse polarity. And this one joins up with 4 here. Whoop, had to go, didn't it? And I've done an internet search on these particular batteries. 18650 CF, a capacity of 2250, when new of course, maybe. Discharge about 4 amps maximum, gives you about 20 amp maximum discharge per pack of 5. So capacity for charge them, then discharge them, should get something like 11,250 milliamp hours. That's a new one, of course. This is what I've been asked to work with. Loads of salvage cells of quality unknown. It's time to do some reselling on these. That side and that side, and maybe anything in between. Anything that's discoloured. I'm just going to tack that gently with a flat blade screwdriver and reuse these tabs. So I'm going to solder them back on. Onto the new cells, obviously. Well, newer. And as you can see, all that came off nicely. Not much use for that anymore. I've got some nickel strip lying around somewhere. I thought that these came out to the ends. Obviously they don't. Made up of 2 half shells like that. Slide parts. I've got some of these new other, in brackets, batteries that I was supplied with. I've got these tested. I don't know if I showed this before, but capacity of 1900, 1800, lowest about 1705. I'll use these 6 cells in this first pack. So that's the first side done. Well, first pack done. That side as well. Not too shabby. The mess is on this side. So There's 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 4 faulty cells in there. I've changed my mind on these. I was just going to replace 4. Seeing as I've had to rip the tabs off that side, I've deformed those. Well, I was going to keep those, but I'll just replace them. That's the first block put back together. There's a couple of tabs on there. That's the block that goes first in there. So that's it, all back together. There you go, 24.4 volts, that's a relief. Let's see what happens. I'll plug the charger in. There's an LED on there and it's currently on green. It's just connected up to the pack. Contact. Ha ha ha, turns red. Red for charging, I hope. I'm going to stick the clamp meter across. This will be the main negative wire. See any current being drawn. We're seeing just about 1.5 amps going in. And after about 5 hours charging, that seems to be full. There's a green LED on that. Green. Let's go look for some voltages. Let's look for a whole pack voltage again. $27.7. Let's do some maths. I thought that would be closer to 29. And I've just completed a discharge test on this pack. Discharge it through the terminals and through the BMS, through the circuit board. Let's get that a bit closer. And that's the result. Nice healthy discharge curve. If you can see, that's measured amp hours 5.618. I'd hope for more, but it is what it is with reclaimed or used or second-hand cells. Test time of 84 minutes. And that's it, all neatly back together. So we can now send that back to hopefully satisfied customer.